Hello, everybody. We are back with number 27 of the story thus far. So real quick on the announcements. Jared?
Instagram, if you guys want to follow us or give us a like, it's at _story thus far.
I was fighting the urge to call you Barag preemptively.
So hard,
I was
right?
like, Barag? Sean?
The email is storythusfar@yahoo.com.
Awesome. So we are just going to go ahead and jump right into episode 27. The story thus far left us on the island of Chult, the jungle island of Chult. You guys had left Camp Vengeance. The reason why you left Camp Vengeance is because you were going to salvage some of the shipwreck from Terra's Tears. Hopefully get enough materials to build more seagoing crafts to use the river to get to Port Nyanzaru. Camp Vengeance was inundated with festering disease. Not many people were healthy there. And Captain Bonebreak was reluctant to give up the camp. However, he did decide to send you out along with 2 scouts to salvage whatever wreckage you could. You lost those 2 scouts, not even outside the gate, when they tried to split a good berry, and one lost a couple of fingers. So Valor's Ransom, or Valor's Ransom -1, went out to into the jungle of Chult with a map, and didn't take long before you finally saw the famed thunder lizards, a herd of sauropods slowly plodding through the jungle. And as you're sitting there just kind of watching these magnificent beasts walk by, hundreds of tons each one, you, Cole, and you, Barag, were showered with dino fecal matter and urine. Daedalus had a nice little laugh at that, and unfortunately, you guys were also set upon by raptors that were actually watching the herd, looking for weak, old sauropods. They found you guys, Cole and Barag, because you kind of had this natural camouflage that the raptors found offensive in the form of dino doo-doo. You weren't immediately attacked, however, Daedalus was in a lot of trouble. So the battle was joined. The 3 of you managed to fight most of the raptors. Barag, you were just a dino Ginsu. You were like a dino magic bullet. But you guys made your way across the herd. Daedalus, you literally got stepped on by a brontosaurus, but you made it across. However, the herd had been spooked by the presence of the raptors, and Cole's pistols going off is enough to warrant about 10 bulls to chase Valor's Ransom down a trail going to a river. Eventually, Daedalus, you got tail whipped into the river, and the rest followed. You were in a bad way, Daedalus, and then you met the rapids, and the rapids took you guys under. You guys were fighting white water and the undertow. Daedalus lost consciousness until both Cole and Barag managed to drag him out of the water to the other side of the river, where you met a gnome, Basil, and his daughter, who was piloting a steamship. And they were going to Port Nyanzaru. So rather than try to get to the wreckage to salvage materials, you decided to go to Port Nyanzaru to try to get help for Camp Vengeance. You finally made it to Port Nyanzaru. Barag, there you met some Flaming Fists mercenaries, and you did tell the tale of Captain Bonebreak as well as Camp Vengeance and their need for assistance. You also told them that nobody was really healthy there, and so they essentially said, we'll take care of it. The 3 of you found yourselves in one of the few taverns in Port Nyanzaru, a beautiful, exotic city. Everything was kind of pastel colors, a lot of kind of fabrics covering from one building to the other. And you made it to a very, very busy tavern. This tavern had kind of like a fighting pit. A lot of gambling going on because sailors, privateers, and pirates and locals don't really have much more to do other than avoid dying and and gambling. So, Cole, you met a Dragonborn associate by the name of Belchris. This particular Dragonborn you had met while on assignment on bounties, but he was also a gambling buddy, more like a gambling adversary. So you took to the tables again, and you gentlemen ordered up some frou-frou drinks with umbrellas. You sat at the table, and Cole did what Cole does. He gambled and gambled very well. He ended up with a magically enchanted crossbow, the pride and joy of Belchris. And as you guys were chatting, drinking, and gambling, you noticed a very large Goliath with goblin in tow attached by a chain in the tavern, frantically looking around. So, Barag, Cole, Daedalus, what do?
I stand up from the table and I raise my one pistol that still has ammo in it, and I just point it at the goblin.
Sure.
Not another step.
So they both look your way. Tieflin, where's your little one, Terra High-Hill?
Haven't seen her. How about you?
Captain Gallows wants her.
Yeah.
So do I.
Oh,
good
so
for
do we.
Yeah, good for her. She's not yours.
I mean to take her. She will be.
You can try.
What about you, dwarf?
Yeah. Go ahead and try, like Daedalus said.
So
Do it.
So the Dragonborn Belchris kind of puts his hands up in the air and he's like, Cole, are these friends of yours?
Friend isn't the word for it. Just,
I need Barag, Daedalus, and Cole to make a perception roll.
24.
12.
12. Daedalus, make a perception roll.
Yeah. 18.
18. Okay, so Barag, you're really trained on your opponent right now. But Cole and Daedalus, you kind of have Belchris in your field of vision, and you are looking at this rather large Goliath with this kind of deformed goblin on his shoulder. And you see Belchris as he's talking, you see him kind of move one of his fingers over to the bandolier with the wands that he has on his chest. And you see him kind of like grab one, and he looks to you, and he just kind of winks and smiles, and you just see that one gold fang in his mouth as he smiles.
And so I turn back to the goblin, and do I notice any change in him?
Still looks like an ugly goblin. Rather deformed. He's on that chain, that heavy chain that Goliath has, kind of like that giant bracer around his forearm with that large ball of iron that's shaped like a fist.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I take the pistol that I had on the table while maintaining eye contact with the goblin. I take the pistol I had on the table and slide it back in my holster. I say, now, I don't think you're gonna find what you're looking for here.
Oh, really? Aren't you associated with Terra High-Hill?
In a manner of speaking, we don't know where she is. So.
She broke Polly.
Well,
We're here for blood.
your captain there made it quite tempting.
She didn't break Polly. High-Hill did.
She still did something very, very wrong, though.
So he kind of smiles. Roll initiative.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, don't get used to that smile.
Damn, Daedalus talking shit today. I love it. I love it.
19.
19. All right, so they are going to share one initiative.
17.
I have one inspiration left. I'm going to cash that in.
Okay.
I think it's better. Hopefully. I got a 10.
Well, don't forget to add your
Initiative bonus.
yeah, your initiative bonus to it.
Oh.
Don't forget. Yeah.
11.
11. Okay.
Right?
All right. What'd you get, Brock?
17.
17. Okay. So we've got Rog next.
Gosh.
Got
Oh, he will.
Young Daedalus. And then I'm gonna do Belchris. Believe it or not, Belchris actually rolled the highest out of everybody. So I'm gonna actually put him just right here
Right.
with the bad guys. All right, so you see kind of Belchris kind of move his clawed dragon-like finger over to one of the wands on his bandolier, and he kind of smiles at you. He takes a wink and he just pulls out a wand, and he is going to Wand of Lightning Bolts. Yes. All right, so no, you know what? Hold on. Before that,
Booyah.
I don't think he's going to do that immediately. No. Actually, he's going to cast Mage Armor. Mage Armor is... No, it's one action. Alright, so you see this light kind of engulf. It's like a silvery light. And then you see the kind of like this ethereal dragon-like armor. Almost looks like dragon scales kind of surround him. That is actually going to be his turn, because that's an action. Next up is going to be Nong and Pukan. Alright, so Pukan, who's the Goliath, is going to take all of his movement and run right over to Cole. That's a good hit. 25 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so you see him take out this war pick. And he does 8 points of piercing damage. And that is going to end his turn. Now it's going to be Nong's turn, which is the goblin. He runs over to... he's on his shoulder, and he runs over to basically the elbow, the giant bracer. And you see him kind of move a crank over, and you see the Goliath's arm kind of change direction right to Barag. And then you just hear him say, "What he said! What he said!" And then 19, does that hit?
Nope.
Ooh.
Because I'm at a 20 right now, because I got my shield on.
Okay. All right. So you see his basically his fist. You hear an explosion louder than Cole's pistol. You see the iron fist just come right at you as you duck behind your shield. It hits off your shield and goes right out the window outside the tavern, and you just see it attached by this large chain. And you see the goblin Nong take a crank, and he's just cranking it. He's like reeling it back like a fishing lure. That's gonna end their turn. Now, Cole, you're up.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a grit point to use Violent Shot.
Okay.
And now, are they treated as the same target?
No,
No.
2 different targets.
Okay, so I'm gonna aim for the goblin
Okay.
with it. Oh, actually, I'm in melee, aren't I?
You are in melee.
Okay, so I'm actually going to disengage, move as far away as I can, and then action surge,
Ooh. All right.
and then Violent Shot.
Go for it.
And it's going to be 3 misfire for this.
All right. Do not roll a 3 or less.
Hasn't happened yet, so...
Say that.
Dice down, dice down.
Dice down.
All right.
Okay.
So let's give this another shot.
This again. It's like a 2 under there or something. Like it's way under there though.
Because I'm curious, once this is all said and done, I want to move everything, find that dice, don't touch it, I want to see what it landed
Let's do
on.
it. Okay, so
What'd you roll?
that's going to be 18.
18. For...
The goblin.
That does it.
Okay. So that's going to be 1 additional damage die on that.
Nice. So go ahead and roll damage.
Cool. Hello. Okay, so that's gonna be total of 4. Oh wait, that's gonna be. I'm adding my dexterity to the damage. Correct.
Yeah, not your
Okay.
proficiency, but just your dexterity.
Just my dexterity. Okay, so that's gonna be a total of 18.
18. So, you see, Little Long, the goblin co-pilot of the Goliath. You take a little chunk out of his shoulder as you see him spin and then just fall down, and he's hung by that chain around his waist, and he's just kind of scrambling to get back. Okay, so well done. Second, end your turn.
Yes.
All right. Next up is Barag.
Gosh. I'm within melee range of him, or no?
No, you are not within melee range.
Okay, cool. Well, of course, I'm going to make myself in melee range.
All right, easy
so
enough.
I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to... Well, I'm going to attack him.
All right.
But I'm not going to switch to my dual wield yet. I'm going to keep my shield and one
Believe to stow a shield and to pull a sword out. I think that's an action.
sword. That's an action. Yeah, so I don't want to do that yet. So I'm going to keep my one sword and shield
Okay.
for now. And I'm going to take my 2 attacks on him. Natural 17.
Which is what? Modified.
18, 19, 20, 22. 22.
Okay. All right. On who? The Goliath or the?
The Goliath.
Okay. That does it. So go ahead and roll damage.
So 1d8. 10 damage for the first one.
All right.
I'll roll
So
for
you
the
take your sword, you swing it, and you manage to cut right across his chest. You see that the blood just kind of spill out, following the blade.
Oh. 22?
22 does it.
Oh, that's the same thing, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah. Okay. 9.
9. Okay. All right. Is that gonna end your turn?
Yes.
All right.
My turn.
I meant to ask, are we back at full health, or are we still at like...
No, we're not.
You're
because
not.
We haven't.
You haven't had a full rest.
No.
You had a short rest, so I'll say if you wanted to use hit die, you can use hit die.
Am I in melee range of him?
Not yet.
Not yet. So I'm gonna just, I'm gonna walk as far as I can away from them.
Okay.
So full 30,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna aim a couple Eldritch blasts,
Go for it.
and both of them are gonna be destined to that coffin.
Okay, go for it. Daedalus, the tactical thinker.
Run.
12 for the first one.
12 unfortunately misses as your Eldritch Blast shoots wide.
19.
19 does hit.
Okay, so...
You see a big hole blast through the tavern right above the window, taking part of the window completely out.
I'm like, oops. I'll pay for that. Don't worry. As soon as we're done with these two. So, let's see.
So you damage on the second Eldritch Blast.
Yep. And, just gonna simply be a rock.
Okay. Chucking rocks.
Yep. Green rocks. That's, I think that's a 6, yeah.
6, alright.
Yeah, 6.
So you hear the bartender, "Hey! Hey!"
We'll pay for that.
And as soon as Daedalus says, "We'll pay for that," everybody in the bar starts attacking everybody else. It is a melee. You are going to be at disadvantage on every range shot.
Okay.
Just saying.
Sure.
So a full fight breaks out. People grab bottles. They're smashing them on tables, making them into makeshift weapons. People using pike hooks that they use on ships, things like that. You see a few of the Flaming Fist mercenary guards run into the tavern, trying to maintain some semblance of control. The bartender, Daedalus, has eyes on you with intent. Alright, so, next up, it's going to be Belchris. Belchris kind of looks over to Cole, and he says, "We need to take this outside, boy. People gonna get hurt."
Yep. Can't very well aim in here.
So he is going to use his Wand of Fear, and he is going to try to get as many in it as possible. He's going to try and clear the room, essentially.
Dun, dun, dun. Come on, Wand of Fear.
I love Wand of Fear.
Come through.
It's freaking amazing.
Yeah, remember when they saved our butts that one time?
Mm-hmm. You still got that?
I still have it, yes.
Sweet.
So he's going to expend one charge. So the DC is 15. So...
And who is he aiming at, though?
Everybody can.
Everybody can. It's actually a cone effect.
Oh, come.
So... Wow. So he catches the Goliath, and he catches the Goblin in this cone. You see this purple energy emit from this wand. The wand itself almost has kind of like a small animal skull wrapped around the end of the wand with some feathers hanging out off of it. And he says the command word. It glows and it makes this cone of purple energy, completely washes over the Goliath as well as the Goblin, and you see fear, deathly fear. And as they start kind of scrambling and trying to find a way out, and you see about 16 of the parishioners of this particular tavern start to just go out any exit. They're making exits at this point. They're smashing windows to get out, but he seems to have cleared a good portion of the people out of the tavern. And that is going to be his turn. Next, it's actually going to be their turn, and they're taking a full dash right out the window. Colt, your turn.
Okay. They're going out the window?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna dive out the window after them. So, acrobatics.
I'll say, yeah, make it an acrobatics check. Sure.
Okay.
Difficulty is going to be 13.
Okay.
There are tables and chairs flying. I mean,
So I'm
you-
just
essentially, I mean, you're
Okay.
having to get through panicked bodies.
that is gonna be 15.
15 makes it.
Yeah.
So you make it out of the tavern. You just see the stream of people, of bodies, just coming out of the tavern.
Am I still at disadvantage if I try
No,
to?
now you're out in the street.
Okay.
It's a little bit more clear.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to spend, I will say, 2 more grit points to make an attack on the goblin again.
Go for it.
Okay, so that's gonna be misfire 4. Well, no, misfire. Sorry, let me check. This is the only second time I've done this. That's gonna be misfire, violent shot, misfire 5.
So essentially, if you roll 5 or less, that means your gun misfires.
So does that not include modifiers then?
If you roll a natural 5 or less,
Okay.
yeah.
That's fair. I
Yeah.
kind of figured, but
Yeah.
I was just grasping at those straws. Okay. 3.
3. So you pull the hammer back and you hear, and the trigger assembly kind of collapses. The spring kind of breaks, and you feel it in the actual weapon.
Okay. I would like to use my extra attack if I can to reload my other gun, because you can use an action or an attack to do the reload.
During the extra attack?
So I'll spend the extra attack to reload.
I believe extra attack is just an attack. I don't think it's action.
Well, it's an attack or
an action?
it's an action or an attack to reload. Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. All right. Sure.
So I'll use that, and then any movement I may have left to continue pursuing them, I will and end my turn.
Okay. Yeah, they are going as fast as they can, but he still has that giant fist of his, and the chain is only about halfway rolled up, as the goblin is still trying with all his might on that crank on the forearm of the Goliath. He's cranking with all his worth. He's been shot himself, and you see his progress is slowed. It's essentially an anchor, but he's trying to get that fist back into that arm assembly for another shot, and he'll get it on the next turn. So is that going to end your turn, Cole?
Yes.
Okay, Rog.
I'm actually going to burn my action to switch to duel, to pull out my other sword, put my shield
Your action
away.
surge?
No, just burn my
your
my
action. Okay, gotcha.
to put away my shield and pull out my other sword.
Okay.
And that's it.
Are you taking any movement?
I will take, I'll take the 30 movement, and I will just go straight out what's probably left of the front door.
Okay.
If there is a front door left.
I will say, because you're kind of bumping into the crowd and there's general mayhem, I'll say you'll be at half speed. Unless you'd like to make an athletics check or an acrobatics check. And then I will say, essentially what Barag does is he ducks behind his shield and pretty much batters everybody out of his way to make it outside, and then stows his shield and brings out the second sword.
Okay, yeah, I will definitely make an athletics check for that. Then.
Athletics check of 13, please. You know what? Athletics check of 10. No, 11.
11? Yeah. Sounds good. 11.
11 on the nose. Oh, 12?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, so you see the exit, but there's way too many bodies in your path, so you just kind of duck behind your shield. You just see Barag eyes just barely over the top of the shield as you go, and you start running to the exit. You just see bodies flying out of your way as you hit them just from the impact. And you finally make it outside. You stow your shield, and you bring out your second sword, and you see Cole there. He puts one weapon away, pulls out another, takes a shot, and that is going to end your turn.
Yes.
Daedalus.
So he's like full tilt boogie.
Yes.
So I'm gonna follow.
At least he's trying, but he's being weighed down by that weapon.
arm.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna follow them out, and I have a question. What is the range on a wand of binding?
On a wand of binding, that is a good question. And I just have the wand section open, and I don't know why I closed it. So let me get it back open for you, and we're gonna find out exactly how much. The range, I believe, is you can use an action to expend some of its charge to cast one of the following. Oh, okay. So hold monsters or hold person. So what do you want to cast? Do you want to cast hold monster or hold person?
What the Goliath considered a person, right?
He's a humanoid. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do a hold person
Hold person.
on the Goliath.
Okay. Hold person is got a range of. Let me get to it.
So if I'm in range.
60 feet. So you're when you make it, by the time you make it out there, you're still within range.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and shoot the wand of binding.
Okay.
How many charges does it have?
Your wand of binding it's maxed up. I don't think you've ever used it.
Yeah, I haven't used it.
It has a total of 3 charges.
3 charges. Okay, I'm gonna spend 1 charge.
No, I'm sorry. No, that's Wand of Secrets. Hold on, I'm sorry. 7 charges. 7 charges for on a wand of binding.
Okay, so I am gonna expend 1 and shoot it right at.
So that's 2 charges for a hold person.
Oh, for a hold person.
5 charges for a hold monster.
Okay, so I'm gonna spend 2 and shoot it at the Goliath.
So you got 5 charges left on your wand of binding. All right.
Yep.
So you're gonna shoot it at the Goliath.
Yes.
Okay. So quickly you see Daedalus grab one of his wands, point it at the Goliath. And do you do anything? You say anything?
I don't say anything. You just see me take the wand like this and kind of do an aim on my arm, and then just go.
Nice. I like that.
Off.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right. So DC is going to be DC 17, and that is going to be, I believe, a con check. Let me just double check. Oh, wisdom. All right. He's not very wise either. Yeah. So as he's running, you see Daedalus kind of put one arm out. He kind of slowly takes a wand out, rests it as if he's aiming. He shoots off this arcane energy, this white, luminescent energy out of the end of the wand, and you see the Goliath running at full speed and just kind of stops, like he's frozen, and falls over. The goblin at this point is grabbing the chain, and you see him trying to pull the Goliath with all of his might. The chain is taut and tight. The Goliath, the little goblin is falling on the floor as he's just trying to dig his heels in. Nothing seems to work, and that's actually going to be their turn. Belchris actually is going to walk up with his wand at the ready as well, and he's going to walk up to the Goliath, and that's going to end their turn. Cole, what do you do?
I do the same. I make my way up to the Goliath and the Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
The Goblin's still there with the Goliath.
Yeah.
So I just keep one, my functioning pistol, trained on the Goblin as I approach. I think your buddy's out of commission there.
What he said. He just puts his hands up in the air. What he said.
And are there any flaming fists nearby?
They are back in the tavern trying to calm everybody
Okay,
down,
so-
tending to whatever wounded are there. But you've got 1 minute for that hold spell. Just to let you know, you've got 10 rounds. So this is the first round. But yeah, they're flaming fists around. You can call one over if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to call one over from where I'm at currently.
Not too far off. All right, yeah, they seem very, very intent on dealing with what's going on in the tavern. Hard to get their attention.
Okay. So I just keep my pistol trained on the Goblin. Now, stay where you're at, and
What he said? What he said? And he just has his hand, his little digits up in the air.
just making sure I don't speak Goblin. I don't.
Oh, he's speaking common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just only saying one thing right now. Yeah. Where can we find your captain?
What he said.
And so I get down like on his level, and I bring my pistol up right up to his face and just press it against his cheek and cock back the hammer on it.
And he says, "What he said? What he said?" and you just hear Belchris, "Cole, come on now.
So I
Goddamn guy can't say anything but what he said.
well,
Ain't that right? What he said?" He goes, and he kind of points to the Dragonborn. He goes, "What he said? What he said?"
Well, he's a trickster. It's making sure he's not trying to get one over on me.
Well, what do you say we secure the big one before we do anything else?
Yeah. Do you have anything that might help in that?
I wish I had a set of manacles. I sure don't, though.
Am I nearby and hearing this?
Yeah, okay. I'm assuming you're all kind of surrounding the Goliath
It's
and
like,
the
it's
Goblin.
like, you think that chain is long enough to tie him with? His little chain hand thing?
Well, let's give it a shot, fellas. So, this is going to be a group effort. I need a sleight of hand check at advantage because it's a group effort.
By like who will roll that? Whoever has the highest.
Whoever has the highest sleight of hand, so go ahead and roll that sleight of hand at advantage because you're all working to secure the Goliath before the spell dissipates.
I have 5 on mine, plus 5. That's all you then. Okay.
All right. So you'll be doing this at advantage.
Alright, so it's going to be 23.
23. All right, so you still have enough of that chain out that you're able to kind of wrap it around him. And as you wrap it around him and you secure it, you start cranking the handle on the bracer. So it kind of gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And as you do that, I need everybody to make a perception roll.
Nat 20.
A
One,
no, a 7.
7?
25.
25. All right. Cole and Barag, as you are kind of working on this Goliath, not 10, 15 feet away from you, you see a rather small, diminutive, very familiar female, just kind of watching everything that is transpiring. So Terra, tell them what do they see?
So they see Terra with mangled, almost like dreadlocky hair, feathers in the hair also, kind of like tribal, war paint, red war paint across her face, a big dinosaur egg on her back, makeshift spear or two in the hand, daggers on the side of course, but covered in mud and fecal matter of the kind.
Terra's back. I feel like cheering. Oh, I'm gonna give you a soccer cheer. Ole, 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 ole. All right, so Terra walks back, and you see your compatriots in Ransom's Valley.
So
Valor's Ransom, whatever the hell their group is.
Dun, dun, dun.
And you see the goblin kind of look at you, and his eyes begin to narrow. He starts showing his teeth, and this is the first sign of real aggression that you see, as he sees Terra as well.
I finish what I'm doing with the chain, and then I look up. Oh, all right then. Looks like you had about as easy of a time as we did out there. Yes, I know. Well, good to see you.
So as he's talking to me, I'm kind of like one-sided, just focusing on the goblin.
Sure.
And so he has like a harness almost on, right?
Yeah, he's got almost like a large collar around the waist.
So I grab him by the collar,
Okay.
and I start walking back into the forest.
Well, he is still attached to the Goliath
Oh, okay. I'm gonna.
by the chain.
Okay, can I try cutting it with the frostbrand dagger?
Thick chain.
Super thick?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna get up to his face and kind of point the makeshift spear
Okay.
at him. And I'm gonna.
So he just looks at you and he kind of snarls and he says, "What he said."
So I'm gonna speak in Goblin
Okay.
and say in Goblin what I said.
So you guys hear nothing but kind of like garbled sounds. Sounds very weird to you, like somebody with a mouthful of marbles trying to drink water at the same time. But you, because you understand Goblin now, you hear him say what he said in Goblin.
So I'm just gonna stab him in the head.
Okay.
Damn.
Roll.
Damage, right? Or
No,
just
no, you gotta roll to attack.
okay. 24.
24. All right. So as you go back and you bring the spear, is that what you're stabbing with? The spear back, Belchris, a very large dragon, or dragonborn rather, who seems to have been helping the group, as far as you can tell, kind of steps between you and the goblin. And he says, "He's restrained, ma'am. No need for any undue violence." And he gets right in the way, so you are going to have to stab him.
And so I kind of pull back and I look to the rest of the group. And I sit and I go back and where I was coming from, and I just sit and start sharpening my spear, but looking at the dragon.
So
Okay.
Belchris kind of looks at the three of you and says, "Well, what is that?"
That's our missing friend.
It's our formerly missing friend.
Looks like she's a bit feral, fellas. You know, she may have gone native.
Wouldn't take long out here.
Well, I understand that, but you just can't, stab folks in the head in the middle of the street.
For what it's worth to you, she would probably have done that anyway.
But
Looks like she's back, which is can only be good news for us. But
Perhaps I think she needs a little bit of the light of the Silver Dragon.
you could try. I gotta ask you though, what would you have us do with these two? And I point to the
Turn them
goblin.
over. Turn them over to the Flaming Fist. I'm sure there's bounty on her, on that crew. They're always paying for pirates over here. They use them on, chain gangs, construction jobs, things like that, as long as there's some sort of bounty on them.
You may just be right about that. And I say, excuse me for a moment, and I turn around and I head back to where the Flaming Fists are.
So as you kind of turn around and walk away, he's like, Cole, you gonna leave me here guarding these two boys for you?
But you're perfectly capable.
God damn you, Cole.
How about this? I'll give you part of the bounty if we get it.
How about you give me my crossbow back? Because I know you cheated.
I'll sell it back to you.
Fuck you, Cole.
And I just give him a curt nod and continue on my way.
So he just kind of he's standing over the Goliath as the Goliath is now starting to break the bind spell. You see him looking at you and looking at both Daedalus and Barag and the Dragonborn, and he finally sees Terra. And are you willing to die for her?
She is, so are we, and I'll be the first to stand in the line, so you want to fight? I can unlock you, maybe.
Tough talk for a dwarf.
I'll bring the heat if you want it, so...
What if I do?
No, you surely, I'll have your head on the end of my sword. So...
One-on-one, then.
So as he says one-on-one, I'm going to just get up with my spear and just sit on him. Just sit right on top of the Goliath and point the spear at his face.
So as you kind of walk over, he's kind of getting a really good look at you as you kind of take a seat right on top of his very large Goliath form. And he says, "She's gonna get you, traitor. She's gonna get you. I promise you."
So I'm going to growl at him.
All right, so you growl at him.
And
Make an intimidation roll. What'd you roll? What'd you roll?
22.
22. So he quiets very quickly as you kind of stare at him, still kind of covered in the essence of the jungle. He sees kind of a wild look in your eye, and he had no problem talking back to Barag, but as soon as he sees you, you sit down on him and point the spear at him. He quiets very quickly.
And then I'm going to point the spear at Barag. Shut up. And then I'm going to go back to sharpening my spear.
Not such kind words from, your long-lost friends.
So
Belchris kind of leans over to you and he says, "You still want to get in that line?"
Always, she put herself in the line for me, and I kind of lean over, even though she smells a little.
Yeah.
I kind of back off.
So
take a step back from her.
I suppose.
So I toss over the coin purse that we have with our money that I have on me still, and I just toss it to Barag without saying anything and go back to sharpening.
I just kind of catch it in my hand and, what am I supposed to do with this?
You're in charge now.
You're leaving us?
No.
All right, so Colt, you get back to the front of the tavern, and there's plenty of Flaming Fists now. They're just like taking statements.
So I find one or two of them. I say, "Excuse me, gentlemen.
We've been wanting to talk to you. We've heard
Yes.
that this is all you're doing."
It was more of a joint effort, but I'd be happy to talk to you about that as soon as I discuss another matter."
So he says, "You're the fellas who told us about Camp Vengeance, yes?
That's right.
I recognize you. All right. Tell me, so you kind of go on with the story of what exactly happened, and he's well, where's the big one and the little one then?
As far as I know, they're still out there, but the big one's getting a little wily on us.
All right, we'll take care of him. What crew is he with? What privateer crew?
Well, they call themselves, and I stop as soon as I say they. Say, we call ourselves Valor's Ransom, but this was not something we were seeking out. These are pirates that tried to kill us once before. We got the best of them this time, and be happy to offer them up to the Flaming Fist for a small negotiable fee.
Pirates, you say? All
Pirates
right.
indeed.
Well, let's take a look at what we have. So he walks over with you, Cole. Two of them walk over. You see Terra High-Hill kind of babysitting him, and Belchris is looking a little bewildered at the whole situation. So these are the two.
Yeah, the goblin and the big guy there.
So he's looking at Terra. You can see he's kind of with nothing but like a quick look and a sentence or two. He's been kind of knocked down a peg or two, So he kind of keeps his trap shut when the Flaming Fists approach. So they ask him, "What crew are you with, Goliath?" So he doesn't answer them.
So, I point the spear back at him, and I just say, "Speak."
So he, through gritted, angry teeth, he says, "We're with Terra's Tears." And he kind of smiles when he says that. So he goes, "Oh, Terra's Tears. There's a bounty. Let's take care of that in the office.
Alright.
There's a tent here. We can take care of this right now. I hope you boys like hard manual labor." So you see a couple more of the Flaming Fists follow, and before you know it, there's about a squad that kind of takes them into custody. So Belchris says, "Well, I guess you best get your bounty."
I think I will. So I follow them to wherever I need to go to collect the bounty.
So long, Cole.
Now, hope you're not leaving just yet. I said I would split some of this with you, after all.
Hey, you gonna be around too, baby, because nobody is sailing off this island, not with the sea wolves.
Guess that's true. Hope I'll be sailing off sooner than later, though. And I kind of spin back around to fully face him, and I say, "Now, one more thing, though. Would you be willing to part with any of those things you got there?"
Fuck you, Cole. Go get your money.
And so I throw my hands up like, all right. And
It was a fair question.
yeah. And
He's lost way too much to you today.
and I continue on my way.
All right. I need everybody to make. Let's make a perception check, please. Everybody.
24.
24.
15.
23.
Woo.
14.
Woo. All of you here. As you guys are approaching the tent, it's night. There are a few torches up. You hear the haunting tone of the undead surrounding the walls of Port Nyanzaru, the very guarded walls of Port Nyanzaru, kind of playing in the background as some sort of horrifying soundtrack. And as you kind of are walking to the main command tent, because they don't actually have a building. This port is native built. Flaming Fists are just here as kind of guests. So you're kind of walking up to the tent, and all of you hear him say, they mention Camp Vengeance, and you hear somebody say, "You think that I want to do this? I don't have a choice." And then as you walk in, the conversation uncomfortably ceases.
You heard him say something about Camp Vengeance?
Yeah.
Okay.
You hear him say, "Camp Vengeance, do you think I want to do this?" And then just kind of stops as soon as you walk in.
Am I by myself, or are we
No, all of you are in a
Okay.
group.
Okay. So I say to one of the guards, "Now, is this where I would collect that bounty we talked about?"
So you see a Flaming Fist there. You've been around to kind of get to know the rank insignia of the Flaming Fist. I mean, you've seen them in Baldur's Gate. This seems to be a very, very young lieutenant, but not too young. He looks like he's had some experience, but the island of Chult can do that to a person. But he's human, very, very dark-skinned, but it's mostly from being in the sun of this island for so long. Looks a little sunburned, in fact. And he kind of spins around. He says, "Oh, so you're here for a bounty?
Yes.
Pirates?
The two pirates, the goblin and the Goliath guy.
All right. Well, if they're confirmed pirates, it's 50 gold a pop. We've got 2, I believe."
That's right.
So you hear one of the flaming fists say, "It's correct, sir. They're part of Terra's thieves. We believe there's more in the jungle. We've found a couple of them. Claim to be with that shipwreck down south." So he's like, all right. Anybody seen the captain?
Sure haven't.
All right. Well, so he takes out starts stacking some gold pieces from this kind of old-looking chest under his desk, and starts taking out stacks of 5 gold each until you've got about 20 piles. Well, 100 pieces of gold, 50 each. We thank you for your service, and thank you for the information about Camp Vengeance.
About that, has any progress been made?
We've come up with a plan of action, yes.
What might that be?
So he kind of looks very uncomfortable the second that question comes out of your mouth. And he says, "Well, that's really, just put that out of your mind. We'll take care of Camp Vengeance."
See, is this the lieutenant talking to me?
Yeah. You see the person that he was arguing with, another officer, young officer, also very, very uncomfortable. Looks like he was just having a very heated debate with this young lieutenant, also looking rather uncomfortable.
Lieutenant, I don't mean to presume anything about your character, but I've been around long enough to know that vague words tend to serve to conceal. Now, we normally wouldn't care, but we have a bit of a vested interest in this camp, and I'd like to know what is to happen to.
Well, sir, I would say it really is not your place to question my character. My character is intact, along with my honor. See, I have the dubious distinction on not only safeguarding visitors here, but also the natives here. That is my distinction. What is yours? I have to think of the whole. You are just thinking of the few. Sometimes, when a limb is diseased, you have to detach the limb to save the body.
So you intend to kill them?
We intend to let nature take its course. We're just going to provide a little help.
I see. Now, are you the one who approved this plan?
I am.
The highest ranking official here?
That's true. And it is with a heavy heart that I do so, but I can't have a single infected come within these walls and put everybody else here at risk. Do you understand that? I have to take into consideration the lives of thousands of people, and I have to weigh them against the lives of just a mere 30. And I hate to do it, but that's just how it has to be.
In this wretched place, is there really no quarantine zone? Nowhere you could take
Quarantine zone? You know where the quarantine zone is? Go outside the wall. That's your quarantine zone. There is only one safe haven, and it is Port Nyan Zaru, and I cannot have that compromised, as much as it breaks me. Unless, of course, you have another suggestion.
It just disappoints me a little bit to hear that the Flaming Fists are so woefully unprepared for a situation such
Nobody
as this.
is ever prepared for the island of Chult. Not even Lord Balderon himself.
Well, you see, our original mission was given to us by Blaze Older Raven Guard. And when I report back to him on the success or failure of this mission, I will be sure to mention how unprepared your team is here.
Do what you will, bounty hunter. And he says it with a little kick.
And I gather up my gold and just kind of put it in my pouch and turn back to the team and divvy it up among them evenly and just walk out the tent.
So he goes, as you are divvying it up, and he kind of looks at you, and as you're kind of splitting the money, and he just kind of shakes his head a little judgingly. And as you start walking out, he says, "This is not something that I want to do, bounty hunter. Something that has to be done. Order must be kept."
And so it will be.
And as he says that, it strikes you as funny, because it's almost like he's trying to convince himself that he's making the right decision. He's not a bad man. He doesn't have evil intentions, and you could tell it's a decision that he hasn't made. He hasn't made it lightly. It's a decision that he is internally struggling with himself, and by his tone and by what you heard as you were walking in, you could tell that he was arguing with others in his camp in reference to the decision.
So I just look at the gold in my hand I got from Cole, and I just say thanks, and just pocket it and look to the lieutenant and be like, "You made your decision, and it's fair, but well, good luck to you." And I just walk out of the tent.
Master Dwarf.
I just give him like like one of those, like, I wouldn't say exasperated look, but it's kind of like, like one of those, "Oh, you made your decision, there's not much we can do," and I just go like this, and I just walk out before I say something stupid.
Okay. Terra High-Hill?
I just kind of look at him. I don't really know what's going on, just because wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of get the gist of whatever this Camp Vengeance is. It's pretty bad. And so I just look at him, and I kind of just tilt my head, and then I just say, "A good man can make hard decisions, but maybe he won't be such a good man later when he thinks about those decisions."
So you kind of see, as soon as you say that, you see like almost his knees buckle for a second as he kind of sits down in his command chair slowly after you say that to him. Again, you can kind of see the internal struggle that he's going through. It's almost written on his face. And as you walk out, you hear him say, "Prepare the men. We are going by river tomorrow." So the arguing continues amongst the staff there. All right. It is evening in Port Nyan Zaru. I need Terra to make a perception roll, please.
22.
22. As you are walking down the street, following your group, Valor's Ransom, you notice almost like a spherical rock following you, rolling on its own. And every time you stop, it stops.
And so I turn around like kind of frantically,
Mm-hmm.
and I point the spear at it.
Okay. So you see it kind of like spin like 45 degrees on its axis one direction, and then spin again in another direction, and then spin right back in your direction.
So I kind of start poking it.
Solid. Feels like rock.
And so I keep poking it again. Rocky?
Stony. You notice that there are some sort of engravings on it.
So
They look very old.
So I pick it up in my
heavy.
hands and just kind of like examine it.
It's heavy. You're gonna have to like pick it up with two hands. It's heavy. Looks like a rock.
So I kind of just shrug and put it down and say, "All right, if you're gonna follow along, follow along."
Okay.
So
So
I
it
walk.
just continues to follow you, leaving a little like BB2 trail behind it. All right. So what do you guys do?
So I'm assuming the tavern had somewhere to sleep or somewhere to stay in
The tavern is right now not taking any.
Any customers?
Any
I'm
customers.
assuming since you know they just blew a hole through.
Yeah, it is closed for now. As you walk up to the tavern. You see Belchris. He kind of sees the group walking toward the tavern. He looks at you guys and he puts his hands up in the air. He's like, "Thanks a lot, Cole."
So I don't even say anything. I just shrug back at him in the exact same motion.
I blame him, and I point at Daedalus.
And don't blame me. Blame the goblin and the Goliath. It's their fault. We just wanted to hang out, recuperate, grab a drink, and they come in seeking trouble.
Of course, they're pirates. But nonetheless, we need to find somewhere to bed down for the night.
Well, I suggest y'all grab a nice dry patch of grass somewhere within Port Nyons or Rue. Maybe a rooftop somewhere. Make yourself comfortable. A lot of these buildings here are businesses. They don't do a lot of tourism here in the island of Chult, so every building has a purpose.
Does there appear to be anyone in the inn currently?
There's a few people in the inn. The bartender, a few of the people that work there. The native Chultan woman who is the fighter in the sandpit. You see her leather wraps on her hands are freshly covered in blood, probably from fighting people during the whole brouhaha. And they're all talking to Flaming Fists as they're trying to kind of recover some of the tables and pick up some of the chairs that have been thrown around.
So I just is there a way in through the front door?
It's super crowded. I mean, there's still a lot of Flaming Fists.
Okay.
I'm just kind of taking people's statements.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to leap in through the window that I leaped out of earlier, and once I get in there, find the bartender.
Okay.
Okay.
So easy enough. And as you kind of approach the window to leap in, you kind of your leather boots kind of crunch on the glass on the floor. You hop on in, and the bartender looks at you. You!
And I just walk straight for him, and I take out some gold from my pouch. 4 rooms, 15 gold. That's all I ask.
No. You've cost me a whole night's worth of business. That won't even recoup me 10 minutes of this place. You know how much money I've lost?
I was merely defending myself. I mean, wouldn't you have done the same?
Oh, really?
In my position.
Get out of my establishment!
25 gold.
Get the hell out of here!
So I run and dive out the window the same way I came in.
Alright. So, sure enough, the bartender with mania in his eyes just stares at you as you make your way back out the tavern.
Well, that was worth a try.
So,
Sounds like
as he, because the bartender didn't see me, because I wasn't in that fight. So, I look at the rest of the group. Good luck trying to find somewhere else. So I go in and look through the window at Cole, and then look at the bartender, and try in the most sweetest voice as I can I please get a room?
And as she's doing this, I'm at the window, my head poked over the top. Say, offer him more than 25.
Alright. Make a persuasion check.
I'll throw you an inspiration for that one. Going back to this dice. 26.
26. Alright. I said you were one with the wild. What happened? Alright, so,
I missed a bed.
he's like, ma'am, unfortunately we are closed for the evening. I can load up a water skin for you if you'd like, but, we're closed.
A water skin will do just fine. I need one.
What about a drink?
And I look at the rest of the group.
They're outside the tavern.
Yeah, and through the window. Yes, please.
Step right up. Give me your skin.
And so I do.
Alright, so he grabs your water skin. Grabs it with 2 fingers. He's like, this smells. Like, it smells really bad.
I bet it does.
What have you been rolling in?
Well, I've been stuck out, and then I point out to where the barricade is.
The jungle. Wow, that's impressive. You've managed to avoid the dead and the dinos?
And then I look at my little egg, and I kind of pat it. Yes.
As this is happening, can I attempt to stealth my way up the stairs to one of the rooms.
Yeah, make a stealth roll.
Okay. And I say to Daedalus and Brog, I'll be in there.
Alright.
Sure, whatever, dude.
I got a
Bye.
+8 on stealth, so I'm not even proficient, but... Oh, it must be if it's +8. Never mind.
What'd you roll?
1.
Halfling luck.
So, okay.
Cool, okay.
Halfling.
Let me double check this because I don't know why I have 8 if I don't have it bubbled.
It's gonna be your dexterity modifier.
Right. What? Okay. I don't know why I put 8 on that because it would be 8 if I had.
If you were proficient in it, yeah, because it's +4.
Was
and
that
then your
Urban
proficiency
Bounty
modifier.
Hunter thing?
Yeah, urban bounty hunter. Yeah.
Okay, so that's where it came from. I
Yeah.
just forgot to bubble it. Okay.
Don't forget to bubble your bubbles.
Yeah, no kidding. I've never tried to stealth before, ever. So.
So, what'd you roll?
Cock that.
1.
1 again?
Yeah.
All right. So,
No, that's a
that's a 1,
It
dude.
hit the corner, but it's.
all right. So, as you try to sneak back into the tavern, step on some broken glass, and you just hear as you look down, you trip over the sill of the low sill of the window, and you fall flat on your face right into the tavern. Immediately, the bartender comes out with a half-full water skin, and he grabs a club from underneath the bar and starts running towards you. What do you do?
I make a mad dash as fast as I can up the stairs to try to get into one of the rooms and close the door behind me if I make it that far.
Okay. I will say make an acrobatics check
Okay, with a different dice.
or an athletics check.
Okay.
The one you want.
I will make that acrobatics. Come on
It's
now.
like I'm just watching it, shaking my head. I'm like, really?
26.
All right. So you managed to evade this bartender's grasp as he's chasing you with it almost looks like a fish club, a fish bat. You run quickly up the stairs as he's chasing you. Daedalus next to you, Belchris and Brog's out there, and Belchris is out there. And Belchris kind of looks at you and kind of nudges you with his elbow, and he's like, "Same old Cole."
Yep. Same old Cole. Such a city boy.
Indeed. All right, so you are up the stairs, hot on your heels, one angry bartender with a fish bat.
And so as soon as I get anywhere near a door,
There's a door on the right.
okay, so that's the closest one.
Mhm.
So I'll try that door to see if it opens.
It opens.
Okay, so I'll fly in there and shut it behind me and like try to block it with my body.
Sure,
first.
sure. All right, so let's go ahead, and this is going to be a contested athletics check. As you brace your body against the closed door, quickly the bartender tries to follow you.
Oh, I'm not that good at athletics.
He rolled a natural 4, so.
Okay. Well, don't underestimate these dice. 19.
All right, so easily enough, you feel him pushing against the door with all of the weight of his body, and he's like, "Come out here! Come out of here, you son of a bitch!"
Can I try to like wedge behind me and see if there's a lock on the the door?
Sure.
Okay, if there's a lock, I'm gonna lock it.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lock.
Okay, so I lock it and then I kind of step forward and I kind of get down on the ground where like the gap from the floor to the
there's
door.
a space between the floor and the door.
Like I'm already in here. Let me just pay you, and I start sliding.
You son of a bitch!
I start sliding gold coins out the door, and I count like, let's say like 5 at first.
Okay.
I'm sliding 5 gold.
So he starts hitting the door with the fish bat. Now you just hear him like taking that bat and going to town on the door.
You're just doing more damage. It's I'm already here.
When I bust the door down, I'm gonna do even more damage. Get out of my place! I'll kill you!
I know that's a fight you don't want. Just let me sleep one
No!
night, and I'll
Get
give
out
you
of
some
here!
more money on my way out. Okay.
Get out of here, you son of a bitch! I'm calling the Flaming Fist right now!
I'm on a mission for the Flaming Fists.
Ow!
Yeah.
So you hear him run down the stairs quickly,
and
and he's yelling at the top of his lungs.
does there happen to be a window in this room?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Keeping that in mind, I'm going to I'm going to just like walk over to the bed and just lay down, like shoes and all, just lay down in the bed and cover myself up.
Just waiting for the inevitable.
Yeah.
All right.
See if I can get any sleep in the meantime.
Sure. A couple minutes go by, and you see the bartender come down. Just like if there was smoke coming out of his head, there would be. The guy's on fire right now, and so a lot of the flaming fists are still in front of the tavern, and he comes out. Hey, flaming fists! I need you! I have an intruder, a burglar, criminal. He did all this. He's upstairs. I have him trapped. I want a bounty. I want a reward. He's a criminal. So you see them draw swords. All right, sir. All right. Calm down. Let's take a look. So you see about 3 flaming fists walk into the tavern. And Belchris kind of nudges you again, Daedalus. And he says, yeah, that's the same old Cole I remember. He hates sleeping in the grass.
Well, he better get used to it.
Well, it don't look like he's used to it now.
Well, he shouldn't. Still doesn't mean he should barge in on some person's place.
That's true. I'm very interested in what's going to happen here, so I will bet you 10 pieces of gold that he gets arrested.
I'm not gonna take on your bet because he probably is gonna be arrested.
Oh,
So
I thought we were gonna have a little fun doing a little gambling. What about you, dwarf?
You know what? It might not be worth it because he has a certain, what do you say? He knows Flaming Fist pretty well, so he might wiggle his way out of it. But I'm not willing to take that bet because.
All right. Well, that's fair.
I'm better at drinking than betting, so.
Sure.
You want a drinking contest? I'm down. That'll put 10 gold on.
I know very few things in this life, Barag. One of those few things is never getting a drinking contest with a dwarf. I'm no fool. And he just smiles, and you just see that gold fang in the dark. All right, so Terra, you are sitting at the bar with half a water skin and a drink at the bar. You see the bartender march down, and then he's marching back up with 3 Flaming Fist mercenary guards. What do you do?
So I close up my water skin and put it back on my belt, and I go over to where the window was that Cole hopped out of and look at the rest of the guys, and just like same old Cole, same old Cole.
Same old Cole, little lady. When do you watch the fireworks over here with us?
So I'm gonna speak in Draconic. No, thank you.
Nah. And he says in Draconic, you know the language of the ancients, eh?
Yes, just so happened to learn it.
Good on you. Good on you.
Never know when it might come in handy.
Indeed. You notice the rock has kind of rolled into the tavern and rolled out of the tavern when you come out. You know, fellas, that weapon of mine, Barrage, the Soul Render, it's not gonna do him much good. I mean, it's only good for magic users, so if you can maybe convince him to lose it to me, or should he so lose it, it escape his possession, I'd be more than willing to buy it from you for, say, 500 gold pieces. I'm not telling or asking you to do a damn thing, but should you so find a weapon that looks just like Barrage, the Soul Render, I would be so willing to buy it back from you guys. I mean, to buy it. And he just smiles. You see that gold tooth again. To buy it for 500 gold. I'm just throwing that out there, fellas. And he can't use it. He can't sling no spells.
Well, he may not, but...
I'm fighting the good fight, boys.
Well, why don't you just buy it back from him? He offered it to you.
'Cause he already beat me once.
True. But he likes gold.
Yeah, that's true, but See, the thing with Cole is, he's like my mountain that I need to climb before I die. See, I can never beat him. So I know if I go for round 3, I may be coming out naked. Who knows? I'll get him one day, just not today. And I've already lost enough, boys. So, should it fall into your possession and you need 500 gold, well, I'm your man. Well, you're Dragonborn.
We'll keep that in mind when we're adventuring, I
Zoe
suppose.
kind of smiles. I thank you kindly, boys. So, a few minutes go by, and just as you kind of start to drift to sleep, you hear a bang on the door. Come out! You hear multiple people outside the door. Sir, we need you to come out, please.
I find something in the room, like a chair that I can break the window with.
Okay.
And I do so. I just throw the chair, I suppose, through the window.
Okay.
And then I quickly climb back into bed and cast Disguise Self. And I'm gonna disguise myself as an old, like pretty old gnome woman.
Okay.
If I can get that small, I think I can.
Yeah, I think you can.
I think it's like within
one size.
like one size of.
Yeah. You make yourself, including your clothing, your armor, your weapons, and other belongings on your person, look different until the spell ends. You can use your action to dismiss it. You can seem 1 foot shorter or taller. 1 foot.
Oh, okay. I will say then just an older human woman.
Okay. So let's go ahead and what's your DC? Spell save DC.
Spell save. Would that be? I don't know if there's a formula because I'm a fighter, so.
There'll always be
So like
a
a base
formula.
formula?
Yeah, there's a base formula. It's going to be your intelligence plus. Hold on, let me find out for you. Hold on. It's going to be your 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your intelligence modifier.
Okay, so in that case, it will be.
So 8 plus 4 plus your intelligence mod. So 11 plus
13.
13. All right. So they
Not
have
very
to.
good.
They have to roll against a 13. It's going to be a group effort. So what are you going to disguise yourself as?
So I'm going to disguise myself as an older female human who is just like in like a nightgown.
Okay.
And gray hair, kind of a little like wild, as if she had just crawled out of bed,
Sure.
you know,
Sure.
after a long sleep. And like a couple like small bracelets on her one wrist.
All right.
That's it.
Natural 19. So as they come through the door, they see the broken window and they say you, and they kind of see your disguise self-illusion kind of shimmer a little bit. No, that's arcane trickery is what that is. Come here, boy. So they've got their blades kind of pointed at you.
Now, and I stay as the woman in that form
Sure.
for now. Now, gentlemen, and I address the Flaming Fist. I am on an officially sanctioned mission for Blaze Older Raven Guard, and currently undercover. You're spoiling it if you haven't noticed.
So the bartender's like, you broke my window. Why did you break my window?
As I said, supposed to be undercover. It was for effect. I will gladly pay for your window. And I, in clear, like, make a slight show of it for the guards, drop, like, 5 gold in his palm. As Blaze Older Raven Guard wrote into my budget for incidentals. Now,
Incidentals.
yes.
That's my window. That's not an incidental.
So then I paid for the window. It's incidentally broken in the process of this
I'm going to
mission.
incidentally break your face.
Oh, now that would be inhibiting the mission, wouldn't it, gentlemen? And I look to the guards.
Make a deception check. Make a deception check.
He's like,
It's not a complete lie. I mean, it's like a
Make a deception roll.
It's like a 75% lie. Deception. That's gonna be 23.
23.
Or I'm sorry, 22.
Okay. Bailey, I think he might be right. I think this falls under code 349. The mission comes first, I believe.
And gentlemen, if I could just get your name and ranks, because I would love to report back to the Blaze who either inhibited or aided my mission along the way, as the case may be.
You'd be willing to do that for us, Agent?
Oh, gladly.
Okay, under code 349, you have the absolute due right to procure any resources needed in the success of the mission. That's in the handbook. Sir, you're going to have, I know this is your establishment, but you will need to house this Agent of the Flaming Fist. And he kind of like winks at you. Agent of the Flaming Fist, he's on a mission. Unfortunately, we're not allowed, or we're not at liberty to say what this mission is, but because it's a secret. But I would be very, very appreciative if you were to give him some housing. And so the bartender looks at you and he's like you could see like his face is red. And
I just like straighten out my nightgown a little bit.
So he goes, and he just walks down the steps.
Thank you, gentlemen. Your help is very much appreciated, and it will be known to the Blaze.
Right. So they give you their name and their ranks. Now you will be sure to put this in your report.
Oh, definitely.
We've
And,
cooperated and under code in Article 349.
Yes, absolutely. And that lieutenant of yours, I'm afraid I can't say the same for, but
What lieutenant?
I don't think I caught his name, but the one over there in the command tent.
Oh yeah. I believe his name is. Hold on, I have it. Commander Budisk.
Yeah, it seems that the commander has set you all on a mission tomorrow.
Some of us, yeah.
To Camp Vengeance. Yes.
Some of us will be remaining behind.
Well, I was rather disappointed to hear of the plan, but seems as if he's not willing to budge.
I'm not quite sure what the plan is. I'm staying here myself in the port.
Well, as far as I can tell, whoever is to go on the mission, you're going to get there, face down about 3 or 4 dozen innocents, and kill them all before you leave. I didn't know
his
that
eyes
was...
get like very, very wide. Obviously, you can tell by his reaction. He had no idea. And he's say what?
Yeah, so either kill them or make sure they die.
I have friends
Sure.
at Camp Vengeance.
Well, your lieutenant, who I am convinced has good intentions, has formulated this plan that he thinks is going to save the rest of the island.
But why?
It's a good
What
question.
reason did he give? I mean,
Well, he seems to think that if we're to try and treat some of those sick people here back at the port, that the infection will spread and it poses a risk to everybody else.
so you see him kind of put his hand over his mouth, kind of very incredulously, and he kind of whispers over to one of his friends, "Get some of the boys together. We can't let that happen. So, thank you much, Agent."
Thank you. I glad to hear that that course may be changed. Now, I think your lieutenant may have a point about the risk, but maybe if he were to be presented with an alternative plan, maybe treat the folks on location.
Off the top of my head, maybe an off-site quarantine, yeah?
That is exactly what I said to him, but he seemed set in his decision.
All right, we can do this. So you see him like, he's kind of psyching himself up, we can do this.
Yes. Please be sure to tell anybody else who you think might be sympathetic, because there are many lives that can be saved.
Right. Hey, thanks for this, Agent. What's your name?
My name is Cole.
Cole. Nice to meet you. I feel I'm in your debt, eh?
Well, I'm in yours. If that innkeeper were left to his own devices, I don't know if I would have made it out of this room. So,
Yeah, well, I don't know if this will do you any good, but legend has it on this particular island, there is a ship. It's ancient and it's old, but it's here. If you want off this island, takes out his notebook.
Do tell.
If you want off this island, you'll have to procure a ship, and no ship here is willing to set sail. You're after the sea wolves, right?
We are.
I hear this ship is special. Ain't none like it.
Any idea where I might be able to find this ship?
Don't know, it's part of local legend. Some say it's the ship of Lord Balderon himself. Got lost here thousands of years ago. And the ship remains, waiting for a crew. Don't know how true that is, of course. It might be just hogwash legend. Don't know.
Wouldn't that be a sight, sailing back into Baldur's Gate on Lord Balderon's ship? That would show those nobles, wouldn't it?
Seems fitting. I mean, he did, after all, find Baldur's Gate. He built Baldur's Gate. Should be fitting that his ship returned there.
Well, I appreciate the information, because I am more than ready to get off of this island. And,
From what I hear, Lord Balderon was a treasure hunter. He was an adventurer. Legend has it, it's filled. Filled coffers full of gold and magic.
Oh, well, this just gets better and better, doesn't it?
Sleep on that.
I think I
However,
will.
you have a good evening, agents. I wish you well on your journey.
And I wish you well. If you gentlemen ever find yourselves back in Baldur's Gate, please come to the Clamhammer. I'm the new owner, and we've changed the sheets.
So they kind of look at each other. We've been there. We've been to the Climhammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too much has changed, but the right things have. So.
Well, hopefully you can get rid of these sea wolves. The
Uh,
sooner you do, the sooner we can get out of here.
just one more thing, gentlemen. I know I've asked so much of you already, but I do have 3 of my fellow agents waiting outside down there. Now, it would really be great for our mission if they could all get a proper night's rest. If you could somehow see to it that they get a room here as well, it'd be much appreciated.
Oh, you mean they've been deputized?
Exactly.
Of course. Article 350. Agent on a mission can
That's
deputize anybody he sees fit, he or she sees fit to finish the mission, the quest, in the name of the Flaming Fist, of course.
350.
Article 350.
That's it.
Come down, get your guests,
Okay,
get a good night rest.
thank you. And I
Right.
I go out and I kind of go, like, not all the way down the stairs, kind of like just to where I could get within sight of them.
So as soon as you step out and you're at the top of the stairs, you see the bartender at the bottom of the stairs just kind of staring at the top of the stairs.
I just give him a wave. Looks like we've all got rooms for the night.
You've all got rooms. You've all got rooms for the night. I thought you were
Article
Me?
350.
you
Of the
son
code.
a bitch, and he just throws his fish bat down on the floor as hard as he can, just marches away.
And we will pay for all of the rooms, as is fair. I don't intend to scam you or anything like that.
And you just hear him scream, "Article 350!"
350! And I walk back up the stairs.
All right. So a couple of the Flaming Fists come down. Madam, sirs, I believe you've got lodgings for the evening.
Do I see any like change in mood after they left that?
In what respect?
Like, do they seem at all somber or?
I don't know that they necessarily seem somber. They seem like they have their hands full currently. Make an insight check.
By the way, Cole's still an old woman in a nightgown at this point.
Fair enough.
22.
22. You see one of them, of the group of Flaming Fists, every once in a while he'll like stare off at the main command tent, kind of down the street. You'll see him look every once in a while, a little nervously, but he's just trying to kind of restore order and get you guys upstairs. But there's definitely a change. I wouldn't say they're somber, but there's definitely something else going on. That much you can tell.
So, I look to Brog and Daedalus. Meet you guys up there. And, I turn to the Flaming Fist. Boys, mind if I have a chat with you?
Yes, we've got to get back. We've got a very urgent business that is time sensitive.
I could walk and talk then.
Very well. Let's make it quick. So as you start walking, they see behind you, plotting the stone, like rolling behind you, and they kind of look at the stone and then look at you, and they say, "Miss, that's a rock following you."
Yes. His name's Rocky.
Rocky.
Yes.
Of course. Why didn't I know? Rocky. How can I help you?
Well, it seems to me that you guys, look kind of distressed there.
Yeah, it's been a hell of an evening. And he kind of puts his hand up to his nose, as he's trying to kind of like not be grossed out by the dino doo-doo smell coming off of Terra High-Hill.
So I just kind of chuckled to myself. And, I may or may not, depends on what you guys are dealing with, have something your lieutenant might, some information
What's
you
that,
might be
miss?
interested in. He said something on the lines of, I don't know, from what I can hear, eradicating some type of village due to, I guess, sickness, yes?
Camp Vengeance.
Yes.
Yes. They are going to evacuate the camp. Nobody can be left alive.
I might know if I go there myself and see what it is this disease is. I might be able to help with the treatment.
Well, unfortunately, madam, there are many diseases. Everything from malaria to the fever. All of them can be disguised as this stuff that makes people dead and then not dead. We don't really know.
I might know a few people that do.
Who are these people?
Well, they helped me, and I kind of like looked down at myself and kind of like survive. And let me just say, whatever they gave me kicked my ass, but I was sick and then I wasn't.
You're talking about some sort of native population.
Yes.
Well,
I stayed with them for a time. The least we can do is see if they can give us a direction in which we can maybe help at least a few.
most native Chultans survive on this island. You know how they survive. First sign of one of their sick, they get rid of them.
But I'm surprised they got rid of me. That's all I'm gonna say, boys. If you can keep your lieutenant distracted, I can try and get back to, guess you can say, the people that cured me.
We're gonna try reason first.
Doesn't seem like he's listening to reason.
I don't really think he wants to do it at all. Perhaps we come up with a solution. Something else, something viable. We can get rid of Camp Vengeance, but not the people in it.
I agree.
We're thinking some sort of off-site quarantine, maybe an abandoned cave or something. Something that we can quarantine ourselves until whatever diseases run their course. Those that die, die. Those that live, live. And the rest can come back.
Well, like I said, it's just food for thought. And so, I turn back around, back to the inn. You boys have a good night.
Sure. So you walk away and your stone follows you. And he says, "You know, miss, we've got leash laws for pets."
And so I just kind of chuckle to myself.
So they're off on their way. So Barag, Daedalus, you walk past a very angry bartender that's eyeing Daedalus very hard.
I speed up my step a little.
All right. I need you guys to make a intelligence check of 13.
Everybody?
No, just Daedalus and Barag.
15.
8.
All right, so as you walk up, you see the first door on the right open. You see Cole, but you see kind of like a shimmer of illusion right over Cole. And then you look into the room and you see a human lady in her nightgown with a bracelet, looking like she was asleep, has just been abruptly woken up.
So I like wander over to the door as they're passing by. You gentlemen have a good evening. And then I like go to close the door and like leave it closed for a second and drop the spell and then pull it back open real quick. Like, ah!
And I was like, well, you surprised him, but I saw through it. Remember, Warlock.
Well, I got one.
Yeah, that was a good one. He's not surprised by many things.
And then I nod at them and close the door and lock it and finally go to bed.
All right. So what are you guys doing?
It's really some sort of like, there's got to be like some sort of communal bath somewhere. Like,
They are not open for business, dude.
no bath at all.
You can ask the bartender if you'd like.
No, thank you. I'm just gonna find the nearest room and meditate.
Okay.
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna see which room is open and go on in.
Plenty of open rooms.
I'm gonna go in and I will take off my armor. So I call for, I say Claude Harath for my armor to go. And just, once again, like always, I'm gonna have it stand right in front of the door.
All right. So sure enough, you say the ancient dwarven incantation and your armor, piece by piece, flies off your body and reassembles right in front of the door. So you are no longer encumbered by your armor.
And I'm gonna bed down for the night
All
after
right,
I
fair.
take a good swig of ale
All right.
of what I have left.
From your jug?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, I'm actually gonna go to the bartender,
Okay.
and he's still fuming, huh?
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and poke that bear.
Knock yourself out. Literally.
And, sir, and I'm gonna kind of like wave my hand.
Yes, miss.
By any chance, do you have a bath of some sort?
Good night, young miss.
I won't be needing a room. Just a bath.
No.
Okay then. So I'm like, you have oh well, I guess I could see how your night's going, and I'm just gonna kind of.
So as you're talking to him, he kind of looks over the bar down at that stone and then looks at you. Just goes right back behind the bar again.
Can Rocky get up the stairs? That's what I want to know.
No?
So I'm gonna take like 5 steps and kind of look down the stairs behind me and see if he's following.
There's no stairs to go into the tavern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna.
He's
go.
in the tavern.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go straight to the room.
Okay. Now the rooms are upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Okay. So you go upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna just like look 5 steps down to see if he goes up the stairs.
He's at the bottom of the stairs, just kind of turning, rotating, back and forth.
So I'm just gonna. God damn it, Rocky. And so I go down and pick him up with 2 hands, and very slowly because this thing is heavy.
He's heavy.
And
And you've got a kind of like an egg on your back that you're kind of like trying to pull this giant stone, what would be giant for a halfling,
yeah.
and you're trying to navigate this rather large egg on your back that you have strapped between your shoulders as you're trying not to break it. I'm going to say make an athletics check.
14.
14? Okay. So you get it all the way up the stairs. About halfway up the stairs, you had a little trouble. The stone actually kind of slipped out of your hand, and you hear it go down to the bottom of the steps again. But you managed to grab it and then go back up the steps and to one of the rooms.
Jeez, I thought it was gonna be like Sisyphus or something. Yeah.
And so I go to the room and I shut the door behind me, and I kind of like, and I just look at the bed because this is the first bed I've probably seen in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of poke it, and I lay the egg down and wrap it in like the blanket or whatever's there.
Sure.
And leave it in the middle of the bed, and I lay down on the floor.
Okay. You've become used to kind of sleeping outdoors recently, having been in the jungle for so long. It's unusual, the idea of just sleeping in a bed. Even sleeping on the floor is very kind of makes you cringe a little bit at the thought of it. You'd rather be sleeping on terra firma. But you do all manage to get a nice long rest. Terra, you wake up and all that dino crap is completely dried, and you wake up and it's like a film, a dust all over your body.
And so first thing I do is I like kind of pat myself off a little bit, but I go to check on the egg, and I kind of like put my hand on the egg to make sure that
It's warm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I see any movement in the egg?
Make an intelligence check. Make a nature check.
18.
18. So you put your hand on the shell, and you're able to gauge that the temperature is exactly where it needs to be. You put your ear against the thick leathery shell. You hear movement inside. You kind of lick the shell, and yeah, it's got just the right amount of calcium, so that's okay. So far it looks rather healthy, tastes healthy, feels healthy. It's probably developing a little slower than it should be because it's not at the right temperature at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So with that nature check, I would say that you know that you've got to make some sort of effort to keep it a little warmer.
So I'm just gonna talk to it in halfling and say, "It's gonna be okay, my love."
Okay.
And then I wrap him in the blanket and put it back into the pack.
Okay. All right. What do the rest of you do?
I just wake up and sit on the edge of the bed and start trying to repair my misfired weapon.
Okay. Make a tinkering check. That is going to be an intelligence plus your proficiency.
Yes, and the
DC is
8 plus misfire score, so it'll be 9.
Yep.
Okay, so
If he fails this, it breaks.
No.
And
So
it costs. It's like half of the cost of the weapon to fix it at that point.
Jesus.
so it's intelligence plus proficiency.
Yeah.
Plus 5. Okay. Oh yeah. So it's 22.
Nice. All right. So you kind of take apart the pistol. You take out your tinker's tools as you wake up. You wake up in the morning. You lay it out in front of you. You start taking the gun apart with your tinker's tools. You take the barrel off. You take the cartridges off. Take the trigger assembly. You pull it apart. You pull the trigger itself out, and you see the spring and the trigger assembly that cracked, that broke. So easily enough, you're able to construct a new one with your tinker's tools, a brand new spring, and you put it all together. And you test the trigger assembly. Everything's working good. You cock the hammer back. Working good. You spin the barrel. Working good. And you just kind of clean it for a little bit. You're all set. That whole thing took about an hour or so.
Okay.
It doesn't take long. Replacing a spring on a trigger assembly doesn't take long to do. So
Okay. Cool.
about an hour total.
Okay.
Barag, Daedalus, what are you guys doing?
So I call for my armor. So I say Claude got the room, which so for my armor to gather to me.
So your armor kind of breaks apart for a second and then reforms right on your body.
And then I just go on my way. Open the door and just go straight downstairs without anybody. And just
There's fewer things to me in my mind that are scarier than a dwarf first thing in the morning. Just give him a wide berth.
just run away.
Yeah. We'll let him wake up when he's ready. All right. So, Daedalus, what do you do?
I get up.
Well, you actually only have to meditate for 4 hours being an elf.
I'm just kind of just chilling. I'm looking at my spell book.
All right, cool.
And then when I see it this morning, I look out the window. I'm like, oh, I got a little lost. I close my book. I put it away. Grab my things, and I walk out the door and down the stairs, and I look down and see if that bartender's in there.
All right. Make a perception roll. 11. You don't see him downstairs.
So before he shows up, I just quickly run for the door.
All right, like a thief in the night. Daedalus comes running right past you, Barag, as you're kind of making your way toward the stairs. You see Daedalus quickly, with that elven curiosity, kind of look around the edge of the stairway. Mm-hmm. He sees that the coast is clear, and he bolts for the front door.
I stick my foot out.
All right. I need you to let's make this contested athletics checks.
Okay. Oh, that's really good for me. That's terrible for...
What'd you roll?
24.
24. What'd you roll?
18.
18. All right.
Dang it, I'm not gonna be
All right,
rolling.
so as Daedalus comes running out of his room, he gets to the top of the stairs and begins to run down. You quickly put your foot out right in front of Daedalus, and you catch him full on. He's not quick enough, and you just hear him go all the way down the stairs until he gets to the bottom of the floor. You just hear him go. You take 9 points of bludgeoning.
So I quickly...
You broke your nose, too.
I just start laughing, and I quickly run down the stairs, step over Daedalus.
Only to a dwarf is that funny.
And run out the front door as quick as I can before anybody else knows what happened.
Yeah. Alright.
I can't do anything as he's jumping over me.
You can if you'd like. You want to roll initiative and fight?
I'm not gonna fight. I'm just gonna.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand, and I'm gonna grab for his ankle.
Okay. All right.
With Mage Hand.
I'll say this is a trip with Mage Hand, so go ahead and make an athletics check. Oh, we'll make this. Yeah, athletics check.
An 8.
8.
Do I have to roll a little, right?
Contested.
Okay. Contested.
Roll bad.
4
He made it. I can already tell.
9. Yeah, mine's like 13.
Yeah. You got a lot of modifiers on that.
Yeah, that's a 9 mod
So
on that.
quickly you see him sling a spell. You see this ethereal hand come to go for your ankle as you pass him, and Daedalus is kind of still crumpled on the floor. But you see it well in advance, and you're able to easily dodge it as you make your way to the front of the tavern.
And I'm just like...
I just put a thumbs up and go, hey. Out the front door.
Oh god, you were such a bully. You were such a fucking bully.
Before the bartender comes back, I get up, I dust myself off, and I just walk out.
Okay.
Broken nose and all.
Broken
wow.
nose. Yeah. Broken
Like
nose and
a
all.
champ.
Yeah. All right, Terra.
Do I hear all of this, like thumping and
Yeah, I'll say yeah.
and the groan?
I'll say by the time that you get out of the room, you see Daedalus on the floor at the bottom of the stairs, just picking himself up off the floor.
And so I'm just gonna sigh and I'm gonna yell to Daedalus, "Let me guess, the dwarf."
Yes, the dwarf. And I just walk out after I say the dwarf.
All right.
So I'm gonna just like sigh and groan, and I kind of prefer the wild now.
They're like Lucy and Charlie Brown. That's all right.
You know what I noticed? He always does that to Daedalus.
Yeah.
Like he always pulls shenanigans on Daedalus.
No, I kicked. Well, No.
You've
okay.
tried pulling shenanigans on me and it never
I
worked.
pulled shenanigans in the past on other people as well.
I think the only other person I remember doing it was Talvis, and that was part of your plan.
I know. I always have a plan. Don't forget.
Sounds like the Joker. Do I look like a guy with a plan? All right, so Talvis. God damn it! No!
You were so
God
good.
damn it!
Alice just walks into the room.
With the Santa hat
Oh
on.
my goodness! He'll never leave this table. He'll always be with us.
Yep, he's the spirit.
So Cole.
So I just make my way downstairs and just kind of look around, see if the party's there, see if the bartender or innkeeper is there.
They seem to be gathering up. Sorry. They seem to be gathering up at the front of the tavern.
Is the innkeeper there?
Doesn't seem to be.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk over to the bar, and take out a piece of paper.
Okay.
And begin to write a note on it, and I'll say, realizing that I never got his name, I'll say, "Dear Mr. Innkeeper," and then I'll start below that. I'll say, "I'm sorry about all of the commotion last night. I understand this place is your pride and livelihood. I am an innkeeper myself, and I would like you to know that you are always welcome at the Clamhammer in Baldur's Gate, and I would be happy to grant you a few nights in our best room." And then I put let's see, so I gave him 5, I gave him 10. I'm gonna put an additional 15 gold down on the table, and I'll finish the note. I'll say, "Best of luck," and then at the bottom I sign Cole Ravencrest, and then just put 15 gold on top of the paper to weigh it down.
Sure.
And walk to the entrance.
Okay. Very well done.
Only slightly tongue-in-cheek.
That was a good one. Inspiration views there. I like that. All right, so what do you guys do?
So do I see them all come out?
Yeah, Cole is actually the last one to come out. You see him kind of, scrawling out on a piece of parchment at the bar through the broken window.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like been half boarded up only. But you see him scrawling something on a piece of parchment. About 3 minutes or so, you see him put out a small pile of gold and then walk out.
I don't know what to do now, but as we always say, who's up for an adventure, I guess.
Well, I guess I'm up for that, but first off, and I look at Terra, where have you been?
And where'd that egg come from?
And why do you stink?
I saw the egg.
These are all valid questions, by the way.
So I'm just gonna look at all of them, and I'm just gonna point at the jungle.
Well, duh.
So who'd you run into?
Oh, you are asking a lot of questions that's gonna take a lot of time to answer.
Well,
I think we have that, don't we?
no, I think we need to save that for later, I guess. First, she needs a bath, because...
No, I don't. Not if we're going out there.
As do I, because I still have...
I need everybody to make a perception roll real quick. Difficulty's 12.
18.
12.
12.
3.
Alright, everybody but Daedalus notices. Daedalus is busy kind of looking at this leathery sort of egg in Terra's pouch. But the three of you do notice that there is a small squad of flaming fists preparing to deploy.
Hey, we all see that, right?
They're going out to do whatever it is they're gonna do at that village. Leave them be.
I wouldn't say a village, it's more of a camp. That's actually where we came from. And that's why they're going, because we asked them to go and see what's going on.
So, do I recognize any of the guards from this
Yeah,
distance?
you see a few familiar faces.
Any of them, those guards I spoke to last night?
Yeah, all the guards that you spoke to last night.
Okay, so I just kind of turn on my heel and head straight in that direction.
Okay. And you see them all kind of securing each other's packs and their gear and their water skins. They're not in formation or anything, but you see them like they're preparing for a long march. So, yeah, you walk up to one of them, and he's the one that you were talking to last night. He looks at you. Oh, so I almost didn't recognize you without the shimmer of,
So, it may make a reappearance someday. That's just one I keep at the ready.
Right.
So, are you to proceed on this mission?
Yeah, we're going to, I think we found an adequate place to set up a quarantine. We think it's relatively free of beasts, of monsters, dinosaurs. So we'll check it out prior.
That's good to hear.
We'll move all the personnel in Camp Vengeance and move them to that cave. It's a small cave system, don't know how deep it goes, but the outside of it is small. Should fit our needs. There's a natural spring water nearby.
And they'll be getting the medical treatment and food that they need?
We've got some health potions here. Some natives will be coming. Got many natural medicinal herbs, roots, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to hear. Just wanted to check in on you. Best of luck.
Thanks. I think we'll be alright. Thank you for confiding in us. And I do hope everything goes your way.
Yeah, I hope the same for you.
Please get rid of the sea wolves.
We're going to try.
As soon as you do, we can leave this godforsaken island.
Yeah, I can't blame you for wanting to. We're going to try to make that a possibility for everybody.
We'd be much in your debt, Cole.
So I nod at them and head back to the party.
Am I anywhere close to where Cole went?
I could say you saw Cole go over to the soldiers. Like, if you wanted to, you can go with him. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, actually, as he's coming back, I'm gonna run over to them and ask them if they might have an extra map of the part of the island.
Okay.
They might have anything.
Natural 20.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got a few maps. Sure, we can spare one.
Yeah, particularly maybe of the south side of the island, where the shipwreck of Terra's Tears is at.
Yeah, we've only gone down as far as Camp Vengeance.
Aye.
The plan was from that camp to continue surveying the south.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how far they've gotten. Now you two know that you had a map going towards the ship, but it got washed away in the rapids. Remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Terra, when you were in the wilds, you were coming upriver and following the river, and you actually found a map of about half of the island of Chult going up to Port Nyanzaru. You don't know where it came from. You know it came from upriver and flowed down pretty much to you, and you picked it up, and with your navigator's tools you were able to determine exactly where you were and how to get to Nyanzaru from where you were. So that is what allowed you to get to Port Nyanzaru right after your party.
I think if I remember right, I actually saw Terra's Tears at one point.
Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Make an intelligence check.
But the captain wasn't there, of course. Let me see how many.
Yeah, when you had gone to Terra's Tears, it had been all but abandoned, damaged, pretty much beyond repair.
I'm going to give you an inspiration
Sure.
for that.
And you had noticed also that 3 of the 4 cells were damaged on Terra's Tears that were holding the elemental creatures.
18.
So as you are looking through your pack You see your navigator's tools. You see the original map that brought you to Port Nyanzaru, but you see another map. You see a map that you had found in a room in a temple in the Sanguine Sands. And as you are looking at the map that brought you to Port Nyanzaru, and you're looking at the other map, and you kind of lay them over each other, the older map is the map of the whole island. The map is ancient. It looks like it's hundreds of years old. It has certain markings on the map that are specific. They're markings of something or someone, of a specific locations. One mark has the mark of an eye on it.
Okay, so I pull out the map, then I turn to the rest of the group. Well, I say we head on out. I may have a little bit of an adventure for us.
I'm afraid I'm going to need a little more detail than that.
We'll just put it this way. We found a map a long time ago, didn't think it had any relevance up until now. And I show Daedalus and Brog the map from the Sanguine Sands, and I said, doesn't anybody recognize this?
Yeah, we got her from that temple we were in.
Yeah, you know, the one where we almost died multiple times.
I'm technically not with you guys right now. I'm talking to the guards.
Yeah. So it's Daedalus.
So it's Daedalus.
It's Daedalus and Terra actually, because
Yeah.
Cole was on his
Oh,
way
I thought
back.
I thought they came back
No.
already.
No.
Oh, okay. So,
So you actually start walking up as you see her with two maps talking to Daedalus.
So I'm
You're
pointing at
walking
the
up
map.
in the
I was like,
conversation.
what's that symbol right there? And I point to the eye.
that's what we're gonna find out, boy.
I kind of like look over her shoulder. It's not going to get us any closer to getting off this island.
Don't know if you don't try.
It could be that ship.
First things first. We leave now. Don't want to get caught with the undead, right?
Oh, we learned that firsthand.
See, as long as we're in here, we're guarded from the undead. We go out there, we're not.
Yeah, you'll
But
survive.
It's daytime now, so the undead only come out at night.
Right.
So right now, the concern would be dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like you say, I guess we don't know if we don't try. It's as good a plan as any at this point.
Alright, boys. Well, first, let's get some makeup on you. And I just kind of smile to myself.
Define makeup.
You'll see. Just follow me.
I'm afraid this makeup's probably gonna be stinky.
And so, I walk out the gates.
Okay.
Come on, you lot. Hurry up. I ain't got all day.
Oh, am I back now? I'm assuming
Yeah.
if I went
You actually see your group start to walk off.
So I quickly tell the guards, thank you so much for your help, and I like, can I have the map now, please?
So yeah, they give you the map.
I take the map. Thank you guys. Wish you
Good
good
luck,
luck.
Master Dwarf.
I appreciate it, and good luck on your adventure as well. Hopefully, you can save the cat.
Hopefully, it's less than of an adventure.
Don't come back in one piece.
Indeed.
Please.
You as well.
Aye, we'll see you in due time, and I quickly run off. They're trying to leave me, so I'll see you around.
Alright.
I quickly
So
run.
you're having this like conversation as you're trying to catch up. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Okay.
Oh man.
So you catch up to the group.
Hey, why are y'all trying to leave without me so quickly? I got a portion of a map of the island as far as Camp Vengeance goes.
We don't need that. But thank you.
Aren't you a peach? And I roll it up, shove it into my sack.
And so I just give him a dirty look, and I'm like, does it look like I've been having a swell time here?
No, and you don't smell like it either.
And I'm just gonna kind of smile to myself and just keep walking.
Trust me, I know, I've been there. Cole and I kind of got our own little adventure until
Shit
we...
shower.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, shit
say it.
shower
Sure.
per se,
I
until we
avoided
hit
it.
the river.
I laughed at them too, though.
He also
So-
got attacked by raptors, though, so that's all his
Yeah, I
fault.
could say that they are at least at least the raptors that attacked us didn't like the smell of them. So they only attacked me.
So as Dallas is talking, I'm gonna look on the ground to see if there's any sort of dinosaur dung around.
No, not
yet.
Not in the city of Port Nyanzaru.
Oh no, I thought we were out. Or
No,
heading
not
out.
yet.
No,
Oh,
you're
we're
heading
still
to the exit. You know that there are dinosaur races 3 times. Well, you might not know this, but there are dinosaur races 3 times a day in Port Nyanzaru. A lot of people gamble and make money on it, but the first race isn't scheduled for about another hour or so.
So, alright, you lot. Let's go out. We'll get some makeup on you pretty boys and we'll leave.
Alright, I'm not no pretty boy. That's that one, and I just point in the direction of Cole. He's the pretty boy, so good luck with that. Me, I don't mind getting dirty, I guess.
So, I just keep walking kind of like in my own
All right.
element.
So on the way out, you do see Belchris as he is fastening some new wands onto his bandolier. He's outside, taking a deep breath of the morning air. You just kind of see the shimmer on his scales. So he sees you guys kind of approaching, like heading towards the exit, the main gate. And he smiles. You see that gold tooth, that gold fang in the front. Morning.
Morning.
How do you all sleep?
Oh, very well.
Just fine.
Better than I would have imagined.
Well, it's good to see y'all.
You as well. And
I'm glad I didn't bet against you, Cole. I thought you was gonna get arrested.
Well, you know, it worked out as it sometimes does, and I kind of tug on the crossbow in my pack a little bit. Now, I was hoping you might reconsider my offer to buy just 1 or 2 of those things off you there.
Oh, those things off me there?
Yeah, well, it looks like you've got quite a few.
I do have a few, Cole, but I'm not gonna let you take complete advantage of me.
What would one of those cost a guy like me?
A guy like you, you can't use any of this.
Well, I might know somebody who can, or I might run into the right person to
Yeah,
sell
me.
it off to.
You know the right person already, Cole.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, it might look.
How about this? I'll buy my own weapon off you for 500 gold. That's my best offer.
That's a fair offer, but I think I'd like to hold on to it. I like it.
So he kind of smiles. Of course you do, Cole.
If I know you, though, you're gonna come up with something pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you'll be able to replace it soon.
Yeah, I got a few ideas, of course.
Something even better, perhaps. And then when we meet, maybe we can do a little gambling again.
Perhaps I'll just make me a set of magic pistols.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, now you do that, you might get your crossbow back.
Oh, I think the crossbow will be a little bit antiquated at that time, don't you think, Cole? I mean, that'd be like a downgrade.
Yeah, you know, at this point I'd
Of
have to agree.
course, if I got my bow back, I wouldn't have to pursue magic pistols. I mean, Lord knows I would never try to show you up, Cole.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to.
In
No.
all seriousness, Cole, think about our last conversation, will you?
Oh, I have.
I hate to see you being rolled into Port Nyanzaru in a wooden box.
Believe me, it's my intention to get off of this island as soon as I can.
I understand, and I understand that you have business at Baldur's Gate.
Plenty.
I'm saying that the world is bigger than Baldur's Gate, Cole.
Fair point. If you find yourself in Baldur's Gate, come to the Clam Hammer. You're
I'll tell you
welcome.
what, take care of them sea wolves for me, and that's the first place I'll be headed to, Cole.
Sounds good. You're welcome to gamble there.
I hear there's a lot of work for somebody willing to take down the guild and all.
Yeah, maybe you could give us a hand in that.
I'd love to, Cole. I hate those sumbitches.
Same here. And I stick my hand out and shake his hand.
So he puts out his rather large, draconic hand, the claws.
Yeah.
Incidentally, kind of dig into your forearm as you do that.
And just like
Forearm to forearm.
pretend not to feel it.
So he smiles at you, but when a dragon blood smiles, it's just all sharp teeth.
So I do my best to like kind of, because tieflings tend to have kind of sharp
they do.
teeth as well.
They have sharp canines. Yeah.
So I do my best to like kind of imitate what he's doing and just shake his hand.
Good luck to you, Cole, and the rest of you, Valor's Ransom.
You
Take
as
care of that tiefling for me, would you?
We will.
I've got to at one point in time beat him, and if I don't, I blame you all.
Well, I tried to make a bet with you, but
You know, had I done that last night, I'd have lost.
yeah, but it would have been fun.
Yeah, I don't like this losing streak.
Good stories. Good stories.
You all were betting on me.
Oh, we were gonna bet on your free throw. Quite frankly, I saw you behind bars.
Oh, you know that's not a safe bet for me.
I'm slowly learning that betting against you is a bad bet, Cole.
Yeah. Well,
One day you're gonna lose, Cole. I just hope I'm there to see.
you might be the one, you know.
Of course, at the betting table.
Yeah.
So he kind of looks at you guys. Good luck, y'all.
Same to you.
He looks over to Terra. Ma'am, take care of yourself.
And so I speak in Draconic into you as well.
And he looks at Cole. Take care of that boy for me.
And I'm just gonna kind of like smirk, and I always take care of my family in Draconic.
So he kind of smiles and walks off. And this is where we'll pick up as Valor's Ransom prepares once again to head into the thick jungles of Chult. Well done, guys. Tyler's back.
Yay! Welcome back.
Ole, 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 ole.
Yes.
Alright, guys, so this was episode number 27. The family is back together again. What is going to happen with Valor's Ransom? What is their plan? I don't know, personally, but I'm very curious. I am very curious. There have been a lot of significant changes lately. I don't think Valor's Ransom is going to be the same when they get... They certainly will not be the same group that they left when they left Baldur's Gate. They are all going to be changed. I'm very, very excited to see what happens.
It's gonna be interesting.
It was just slightly. I mean, if you think about it, it's been like 5 days or 4 or 5 days or something. So he's still like a bit of a grouch. Still,
Well, you don't know how long that you were out in the open ocean.
Oh, this is true.
You just woke up on the shore.
Psychologically, though, it does feel like sort of a like I just started doing.
But can I tell you something? A single day in a dense jungle like that can feel like a month.
Yeah.
Dude. Like time is just so screwed up when you're in that situation.
Well, I was gonna say, I think he's still just like resentful of just like being there.
Yeah, oh,
It's just
absolutely.
like,
Absolutely.
what is going on?
Yeah.
You know?
That's absolutely funny.
Maybe not a week ago, right? But in his head, it's like a week ago, like I was, asleep, doing jobs on my own, making money, sleeping whenever I wanted, that's like...
In fairness, you have had a little uptick in money, though.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
You have had
For
some
sure.
uptick in money.
It's like getting shit on by dinosaurs.
I
I love it. Sean loves it.
Yeah.
He's like...
Cole has definitely seen things that he has never seen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Including a feral halfling.
Feral
Yeah,
halfling.
we were didn't say anything for the first night or evening, whatever it was, 6 hours, 12 hours, and then woke up oh, by the way, where have you been?
Didn't even ask.
I didn't think about it. I was like, oh shit, we haven't talked to her about this.
No, nobody has. Daedalus was the first one to bring it up.
Yeah.
So, Tara's got some
Yeah,
pretty
I
interesting tales.
I
I think.
figured I'd say it's let her
I
get some
can't
sleep,
wait.
save the story for morning.
Yeah,
That's what
for
I
sure.
was thinking.
Which is totally reasonable. I just didn't think about it until the morning, so I was like, oh,
Because I was thinking about asking her. I was like, you know what? Nah, we'll save it for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and meditate.
Well, we're gonna have a long walk where we're going. So.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've got a few tricks up my sleeve.
Ooh. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Welcome back, Courtney, who is never allowed to go on vacation again.
Oh no.
Making the DM do, like, Dungeons and Dragons acrobatics.
Oh, that's okay. It's what keeps you on your toes.
Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. All right, so, yeah, good night. Be awesome and play D&D.
Hey.
Yes. Until next time.